Every year, Americans lose over $100 billion to gambling. And the single biggest culprit isn't poker or sports betting, it's the slot machine. Rows of flashing lights, endless spinning reels, that hypnotic sound of coins falling. It looks harmless, almost fun. But behind that glow is a system built to hijack the human brain. For decades, casinos have studied psychology, neuroscience, and behavior design. Not to help players win, but to keep them playing. Every spin, every sound, every flicker of light is there for one purpose: to trigger your brain's reward system. You don't even need to win to feel the rush. That pulse of excitement when the reels start to spin, that's dopamine, the same chemical released when people use cocaine. And the cruel twist? Your brain releases it even when you lose. Casinos have found a way to turn losing into pleasure, to make your brain crave the anticipation more than the reward itself. That's why players can sit in front of a machine for hours, chasing the next spin, the next almost win, the next tiny hit of hope. It's not luck, it's neuroscience, carefully engineered to keep you hooked. To understand how they do it, we need to look inside the mind of the slot machine, and the brain it was built to control. The story of the slot machine begins in San Francisco, 1895. A mechanic named Charles Fay built a simple device called the Liberty Bell. 3 spinning reels, 5 cymbals, 1 lever. Players would pull the handle, hoping the reels would line up just right. It was meant to be entertainment. But from that moment, something powerful was born. A game that blended chance, anticipation, and reward in a way no other machine ever had. Fast forward more than a century, and the slot machine has evolved far beyond Fay's imagination. The levers are gone, replaced by glowing touchscreens. The reels are digital, and the game has moved from casinos to phones. Today, slot machines, or what the industry calls electronic gaming machines, dominate the gambling landscape. According to the American Gaming Association, slots account for over 70% of all casino revenue in the United States. In 2023 alone, Americans spent more money spinning virtual reels than on movies, music, and video games combined. Casinos love them for one reason: efficiency. Unlike poker or sports betting, slots don't require dealers or strategy. They never sleep, never slow down, and they can run thousands of spins per hour. And for players, they promise something intoxicating: a small bet, a tiny chance to win big. It's the perfect formula for hope and illusion. Slot machines have become the heartbeat of Las Vegas, the backbone of tribal casinos, and now, through online platforms, the casino in your pocket. With a few taps, anyone can experience the same thrill once reserved for neon-lit rooms in Nevada. But here's the uncomfortable truth. These machines aren't just evolving, they're learning. Behind every spin lies complex algorithms analyzing how long you play, when you slow down, and what keeps you clicking. The modern slot isn't just a game, it's a feedback loop, designed to adapt to your behavior and keep you coming back. Because the more you play, the more data it collects. And the more data it collects, the better it becomes at keeping you hooked. But behind the flashing lights and promises of easy money, something darker is at play. Casinos don't rely on luck. They rely on neuroscience. Every sound, every spin, every flash of light is engineered to reach deep into your brain's most primitive circuits. Because the slot machine isn't just a game, it's a behavioral experiment running billions of times a day. 1. Dopamine and the illusion of control. When you press that button, something happens inside your brain. Dopamine, the chemical of anticipation and reward, begins to surge. But here's the twist. Your brain doesn't release dopamine only when you win. It releases it when it expects to win. That's called the dopamine prediction error. Your brain fires dopamine when a reward seems likely, and fires even harder when that reward is unpredictable. That's why slot machines are so powerful. You never know when the next win is coming. And when the reels spin, your brain lights up. Not because of the result, but because of the possibility. You're chasing not money, but a chemical rush. It's the same system that drives substance addiction. Drugs, social media, and slot machines. They all work by hijacking the same neural reward loop. Casinos have simply monetized the brain's biology. 2. The variable reward trap. Psychologists call it the variable ratio schedule, a pattern of rewards that are unpredictable and irregular. It's the same mechanism that kept laboratory pigeons pecking a lever hundreds of times for a random food pellet. Slot machines use this exact schedule. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Most of the time, you almost win. And that almost is where the magic happens. Players start telling themselves, "I'm due for a win," but the machine never owes anyone anything. It's a loop designed to feed hope, not success. A review by neuroscientist Luke Clark calls it engineered highs, random rewards timed to keep your brain chasing the next dopamine hit. The result? Players stay longer, bet faster, and lose more. 3. The near-miss effect. Losing feel. 4. The sensory trap. Lights, sounds, and speed. Casinos learned early that your senses can be weaponized. The jingling of coins, the flash of lights, the quick animation of spinning reels, all of it forms what psychologists call a sensory feedback loop. Even small wins trigger big celebrations. Bright colors, victory sounds, animated confetti, even when the payout is less than your original bet. It's called a false win. You lost money, but your brain feels rewarded. Slot machines spin fast, as little as 3 seconds per spin. That means hundreds of dopamine spikes every hour. Each one keeps your brain in a state of constant anticipation, like a heartbeat that never slows down. In 2014, neuroscientist Catherine Winstanley ran the rat casino experiment. Rats were given a choice between safe and risky rewards. When lights and sounds similar to casino effects were added, the rats took more risks. When dopamine D3 receptors were blocked, the behavior stopped. It was biological proof. Casino cues trigger risk-taking at the neurochemical level. 5. The business model. Addiction by design. Casinos know exactly how long the average player will sit, how much they'll spend, and when they're most likely to walk away. Modern slot machines track this in real time. If the system detects you're slowing down, it adjusts, showing small wins or near hits to keep you engaged. It's personalization, not for fun, but for profit. Every detail is tested. The rhythm of the spin, the pitch of the sounds, the placement of the spin button, all optimized for one goal: maximum time on machine. And here's the truth most players never realize. The longer you play, the closer you get to zero. Because statistically, the house always wins. Eventually. 6. The human cost. The dark side of the slot machine isn't just mathematical, it's human. People lose not just money, but time, relationships, and themselves. Forums like Reddit's r/problem gambling are filled with confessions. Parents losing savings, veterans losing pensions. Why do people keep playing, even when they know they're losing? It's not stupidity, it's psychology. At the core, slot machines tap into 3 deep human drives: thrill-seeking, escape, and hope. For some, that spinning reel is pure excitement, a shot of adrenaline and dopamine that makes them feel alive. For others, it's an escape, a way to forget bills, loneliness, or the weight of everyday life. And for many, it's the dream, that one big win that could change everything. This is what psychologists call the illusion of control. Players believe they can influence a random system, press the button at the right moment, pick the lucky machine, chase the pattern. Even though the odds never change, the brain convinces them they can somehow beat the machine. Then comes the near-miss effect, the cruelest psychological trick of all. When you almost win, just one symbol away, your brain reacts as if you did win. It releases dopamine, giving you a small rush that makes you want to try again. It's like being fed hope on a leash, just close enough to taste, but never enough to escape. Over time, this cycle turns into something darker. Gambling addiction isn't a lack of willpower, it's a recognized mental disorder. According to the American Psychiatric Association, it activates the same neural pathways as drug addiction, the same reward circuits, the same cravings, the same withdrawals. And like any addiction, it doesn't just destroy the person, it spreads. Families break apart, savings disappear, children grow up watching their parents gamble away the rent. Communities lose billions each year to a system built on desperation. Researchers describe this as a slow burn addiction, one that creeps in quietly, not through chaos, but through routine. The machine becomes a companion, the casino, a second home, and the player, trapped in a loop of reward and regret. As one addiction expert put it, gambling addiction works on the same neural pathways as cocaine, only slower, quieter, and deadlier. So the question isn't just why people gamble, it's why they can't stop. The casino is no longer a place you walk into, it's a world that follows you home. The flashing lights are now on your phone, the slot machine is in your pocket. Today, more than ever, gambling has gone digital. With one tap, you can spin, bet, and lose without ever leaving your couch. Online casinos, mobile apps, crypto betting, all promise the same thrill, only faster, easier, and infinitely more accessible. And as technology evolves, the line between gaming and gambling is fading. Virtual reality casinos let players walk through digital Las Vegas in 3D. Crypto platforms promise anonymity, instant deposits, and no regulation. Even video games, through loot boxes and microtransactions, are teaching an entire generation the mechanics of gambling before they're even old enough to drive. It's a perfect storm of design and psychology, and it's only getting smarter. AI-driven platforms track how long you play, when you bet, when you slow down. Then they adapt. They change sounds, offer free spins, or show you your lucky streak, all to keep you in the loop. Some experts call this the gamblification of entertainment, where every app, every game, every dopamine hit is one step closer to the same addictive loop. So what happens next? Can laws keep up with a system that's learning faster than regulators can write? The US has begun to tighten controls, age limits, self-exclusion programs, digital warnings. But the question remains, are we regulating gambling or just rebranding it? Because when gambling becomes invisible, woven into our games, our apps, our daily dopamine, it stops being a pastime. It becomes a system, designed to keep you engaged, spending, and craving. The future of gambling isn't just in casinos. It's in your feed, your screen, your mind. Are we heading toward a world where gambling isn't entertainment, but an algorithm built to keep us hooked forever? In the end, gambling isn't just a game. It's a system designed not to entertain you, but to study you, predict you, and keep you coming back. The slot machine isn't about luck, it's about control. Controlling attention, emotion, and behavior through sound, light, and the chemistry of your own brain. Some people call it fun, others call it escape, but for millions it becomes a trap, a slow, glittering spiral that takes time, money, and sometimes everything. We live in an age where the casino fits in your pocket, where algorithms can learn your weaknesses faster than you can notice them, and where free spins aren't gifts, they're bait. Maybe it's time to stop asking, will I win, and start asking, what am I really losing? Because in gambling, the house always wins. The only question left is, how much are you willing to lose before you realize it? If this opened your eyes, subscribe for more stories from the dark side of gambling.